Y'all want another Tubi movie? Well, here's Forever Us, because y'all keep me forever stuck in Tubi hell. The story begins with Bert, a delivery driver, dropping off water bottles for Melissa, a friendly regular customer who works at a restaurant. The other workers are like, "Who dat in the back?" Later that afternoon, Bert drives home in his delivery van to his family. As soon as he walks through the door, his daughter Tiffany greets him excitedly, eager to share how well she performed at basketball practice. She's working hard to earn a spot at UCLA, and as a proud dad, Bert tells her he believes in her and hopes when she becomes a WNBA star, she'll buy them a bigger house. "I'm gonna have to hold your hand when I tell you this about WNBA players." Moments later, Bert's wife Kate, who works at a pharmaceutical company, comes in and announces she has to attend an impromptu meeting. Ever since she got the job, her hours have been unpredictable and demanding. He gently reminds her that they haven't spent much quality time together lately, even hinting that he misses eating her kitty cat. Kate, however, points out that the money is important, especially with Tiffany's tuition coming up. By the time Kate returns home that night, it's already late, and Bert is fast asleep. "I would have woken him up, had my way until my mouth memorized every vein." The next morning, she's getting ready for work when Bert reminds her he misses her and wants to spend some quality time together. Kate insists she has to go, but promises to come home early, suggesting that Bert stay in so they can have their moment. Bert agrees to skip work. However, after Kate leaves, Bert gets a call from his job asking him to cover a shift for his colleague Manny. Left with no choice, he heads out and leaves Kate a voicemail explaining the situation. On the road, distracted, Bert nearly collides with Bella, Melissa's sister, while delivering. Startled, he apologizes, but Bella ignores him and walks straight into the restaurant where Melissa works. Moments later, Bert learns that Bella is actually Melissa's sister and that she's just filling in while Melissa is away for the day. Like most of the women around, Bella finds Bert attractive and even admits it to him. Bert is so Foine, delivering water because he making all of us thirsty. Meanwhile, Kate gets home all ready to dance for Daddy in her lingerie, only to find out that the highly anticipated smashing has taken a U-turn. Later that afternoon, Bella's car gets towed for overstaying in the parking lot. Being the gentleman he is, Bert offers her a lift in his van, joking that he's not some random psycho killer. "Girl, that's literally a white trafficking van." Bella agrees, but only on the condition that she lets her sister know where she's going, just in case he actually is a psycho killer, especially since they're headed in the same direction. At Bella's place, she invites Bert in for coffee to thank him for his kindness. He hesitates, saying he still has deliveries, but she jokes she's not a psycho killer and insists. He gives in. Inside, Bert notices her artwork, and Bella mentions she's an aspiring artist. They bond over their shared interest in their favorite actress, Erica Mena. When she serves store-bought coffee, Bert teases her, but she says it wouldn't be the same without her special touch. Bella shares that she moved in after leaving a toxic relationship. Bert tells her to focus on her art and jokes that she shouldn't forget him when she's the next Picasso. She smiles, saying she couldn't forget someone like him. Remembering his daughter's basketball game that night, Bert says he believes Tiffany will go pro someday. Bella replies that Tiffany can then buy him a big house, echoing the same running joke he shares with his daughter. That evening, Bert comes home ready for Tiffany's game. She playfully reminds him she'll buy him a big house when she goes pro, leading him to think of Bella. In the bedroom, Bert finds Kate dressed and ready, and he tries to spark some intimacy. Unmoved, Kate says the mood isn't there, and they shouldn't force it, assuring him they'll work things out later. "Miss Girl, pass him on over to me." Feeling a bit unwanted, Bert listens as she urges him to get dressed so they can head to Tiffany's game. The next day, during his usual delivery, Bert is surprised to learn from Melissa that Bella is now also working at the sushi restaurant. Melissa playfully suggests he stop by and smell Bella's fish. When Bella spots him, she invites him over again, this time promising a homemade coffee to make up for last time. Bert subtly tries to hint that he's married, but Bella doesn't take the hint. After some persistence on her part, he finally agrees, and they decide to head to her place together in his van. At Bella's place, she makes the coffee from scratch, serving it in her favorite customized mug. She teases that he must be special for her to use it. Bert downplays the compliment. After a few sips, Bella asks him to rate her coffee. He gives it a 7 out of 10. Surprised, she leans in and seductively asks what she'd have to do to earn a 10. The flirtation makes Bert uncomfortable, and he quickly excuses himself, accidentally taking her mug with him as he leaves. That night, while waiting for Kate to return, Bert finds himself replaying moments from his day with Bella. A text from Kate soon comes in. She'll be working late again. Moments later, Bert heads back to Bella's place, saying he accidentally took her coffee mug. Before he can say more, Bella jumps him. One thing leads to another, and Bella proves why she's called a throat goat. Afterwards, Bert returns home feeling guilty for cheating. Now, why couldn't you get yourself a different type of extracurricular activity that didn't involve sushi? As days pass, Bert sinks deeper into his situationship with Bella. They keep meeting up, laughing, and enjoying each other like real lovers. Back home, he tries to spark some romance with Kate by making her coffee, but she simply enjoys it and, as always, heads off to work. Meanwhile, what started as casual fun with Bella is turning into something more. She's already catching feelings. You about to catch Kate's hands instead. A few days later, Bert stops by the restaurant to order sushi with Yellowtail, but that's not the only tail he's trying to eat. Not long after, he and Bella sneak off to hook up somewhere around the restaurant. One evening, Tiffany gets all dressed up, looking stunning as she waits for her prom date. Michael, a well-known boxer in TKO. While Kate and Bert are complimenting her, Michael arrives. Bert puts on a protective dad act, subtly warning him not to even think about smashing his daughter, or he might just lose his legs. By morning, while Kate is washing the dishes, she notices a customized mug in the kitchen. Surprised, she asks Bert who it belongs to. Caught off guard, he quickly lies that he must have picked it up from a gas station on his way home from work the day before. Bert then leaves for work, but Kate lingers, eyeing the mug again. Later that night, Kate walks in on Bert in the bathroom, hoping it's the perfect time for her to receive all 20 of his fingers. But Bert, uninterested, stops her, reminding her of what she's always said about not forcing things. He adds that intimacy is a two-way street. It can't happen only when she's in the mood. The next morning, before heading out, Bert tries to apologize for the night before, but Kate brushes it off, suggesting he might be dealing with erectile dysfunction. Playing along, Bert admits he was too ashamed to tell her. Kate reassures him it's no big deal and says she'll see if she can get him something from her company. She reminds him they can get through anything as long as they're together. Kate suggests they grab sushi at the plaza for lunch, but Bert declines, claiming he's covering a shift for Bernie at noon and doesn't like sushi. Suspicious, Kate asks why Bernie needs a shift covered, and Bert quickly says he's just trying to earn some extra cash. She doesn't fully believe him, but lets it go for the moment and heads to work. Later that afternoon, Kate calls Claire, Bert's co-worker, and discovers the shift story was a lie. Determined to confirm her suspicions, she tracks Bert down and finds him with Bella at the plaza, openly being all romantic. She doesn't stop there. She follows them back to Bella's place. Inside, Bella, sensing tension, begins to feel insecure. She asks Bert about his wife and what she does for a living. Bert explains that Kate works for a pharmaceutical company and hasn't been very present at home. Bella concludes that he's just using her because Bert ain't getting any. Bert admits she's not wrong. Bella, wanting more than just a situationship, tells him she needs something real. But Bert can't leave his wife and family, so he ends things, leaving Bella heartbroken. On his way out, Bert runs into an old friend, Larry, who introduces him to Hector, the new DA officer. After some small talk, Larry suggests they hang out and catch up over some coffee. But Bert declines, saying he still has some deliveries to make, and promises to catch up some other time. Later that night, Bert sits deep in thought. Kate walks in and asks what's wrong, but he dodges the truth, saying it's just work stress. She assures him he can confide in her, yet Bert insists he'll be fine. Kate then mentions she'll be leaving for a 3-day trip to Arizona. Bert is caught off guard by the short notice, but she explains that once she gets promoted, she'll have full control over her schedule. The next day, Kate visits Bella, introducing herself as Bert's wife. Bella lets her in and offers her a drink. Kate wastes no time, accusing her of sleeping with her husband. Bella insists she never knew Bert was married, claiming he told her he felt unloved and that his marriage was falling apart. She adds that while Kate was making him feel like a shell of a man, she was giving him what he needed, her tight grip. Kate fires back that she and Bert have been married for 18 years, and if things were truly that bad, they'd be divorced. Bella, unimpressed, tells Kate she's done listening to lectures from a woman who couldn't keep her man happy, then asks her to leave. As Kate heads out, she notices a mug identical to one she saw in her own kitchen days earlier. When she asks about it, Bella says she gave it to Bert as a gift. Kate picks it up, intending to take it with her, but when Bella tries to stop her, Kate snaps, striking Bella in the head with the mug. Bella collapses, bleeding heavily, and dies instantly. Death by mug is crazy. There's a lot of blood, and Kate tries to clean up the mess. A week later, detectives Wimby and Patterson show up at Bert's place to question him. Bert calmly denies knowing Bella well, claiming he's more familiar with her sister Melissa. The detectives inform him that Melissa has reported Bella missing. Acting as though he's clueless, Bert casually suggests Bella might have left the city since she's from out of town. Curious, Detective Wimby asks how Bert knows this, and Bert explains he heard it from Melissa. Before leaving, the detectives notice Kate's car parked outside and ask about her. Bert lies, saying she's gone to visit her mother and took her mom's car instead. Once they're gone, Kate emerges, thanking Bert for protecting her. She assures him that as long as they stick together, they can survive anything. A week earlier, on the night the murder happened, a terrified Kate had called Bert to Bella's place. When Bert arrived, he quickly realized Kate had killed his side hoe. Keeping his composure, he urged her to return home and promised he would take care of the mess. After they do, the two end up in the shower together, as if they just bonding over their shared crime. A few days later, the fake Bert does his regular deliveries and tells Melissa he's sorry that Bella is still missing. Melissa thanks him for always being nice to her sister. Then Bert and Kate have drinks with Larry and Susie. They toast to Kate's promotion and Tiffany getting into UCLA mid-celebration. Larry gets a text from Hector. Bella's body has been found. Bert nervously asks if the killer's identity is out, but Larry says no. Soon after, detectives Wimby and Patterson return to question Kate and Bert, now that Bella's death is confirmed. They give vague answers, and before the interrogation gets deeper, Bert throws in that he's friends with Larry and Hector. Then Kate asks the detectives to leave. Inside, she confronts Bert about cheating. He admits he felt unloved, met Bella, and it escalated. Kate, in tears, reminds him of all her sacrifices, saying Bella only offered sushi. She warns she'll leave if he cheats again. Days later, they surprise Tiffany with a new car for getting into UCLA. Just as she's about to hop in, police sirens approach. They freeze, fearing arrest, only to see the cops nab a white hick neighbor instead. And that's the end of the movie. Apparently, the cops were from Paw Patrol because they didn't ever use cell phone records or gone beyond interrogation. We are left like that with no sequel either. They got away with murder thanks to watching too much Annalise Keating. What did y'all think of this one?
If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because YouTube isn't recommending my videos. And if you'd like to watch more foolishness, click here or here.